Um, what would happen? What would the world be like if there wasn't any real religion? For example, we just stick to one or two religions like Catholic and Protestant, instead of having all the other religions around the world.
Okay, so if we sort of simplified things by just having, you know, kind of Christianity
religions,
as
yes.
such, yeah, okay.
I don't think it's the right question, because it approaches the matter from the wrong direction, because again it looks at the institutions. I come back to the fact that, you know, the religious impulse comes from here, and I want to be clear to express that more clearly. You would easily forget that in a society like ours, which is technocratic, which is you know, material. Or, you know, it's very easy to live in that culture and accept that logic of that culture and forget essential things about yourself. But as you grow older, you begin to become aware of them. And there are certain qualities, there are certain characteristics that define me as a human being, absolutely, which I'm not reminded of on a daily basis by the culture, because the culture doesn't have a vested interest in reminding me. One is that I'm a created being, and by that I mean that I didn't make myself. Something else made me. I don't make myself now. You know, I might be speaking, but you know, even that, I'm not the author of any more than about 1% of that, in the sense that I'll credit myself with 1% of the input into me speaking now. I couldn't make my voice if I lost it. I couldn't recreate it. I wouldn't know what to do if it disappeared. If my memory went, I wouldn't know what to do. So I'm a created being. That's number one. Second is I'm dependent. I need things outside myself to survive. You know, and you can take that at the most banal level. I need this water, but where does that water come from? Who created that water? So I'm dependent on, again, on other elements of createdness. And the third is that I'm mortal. You know, there's a day in the future, which will be the day that I will die. And this defines me as surely as the day I was born. So I have this sense of myself that I'm on a brief kind of trajectory in this reality, having come from some place that I don't understand, going to a place that I don't understand. So I'm surrounded, I'm defined by mystery. This is the religious dilemma. It's got nothing to do with Rome or you know, Mecca or anything. It's got to do with the human need to understand reality in its total dimensions.
I think the essence of the question, though, was that it has also been at the root of an awful lot of dispute and disagreement and obscenity down through history. The people have used religion as an umbrella under which they did some pretty awful things to one another. I mean, the Crusades,
sure, yeah,
9/11.
but of course, and I mean, all human activity tends towards corruption. Humans are imperfect, and religion doesn't cause conflict. Religion can become an expression of conflict, in that there's an innate tendency in the human being to tribalize, to be attracted to like-minded people, and to oppose unlike-minded people. That's naturally, they've discovered, the new neuroscience is discovering that we are as hardwired for that as we are for language. And so, you know, the religion is simply a carrier of this. You know, it can equally manifest itself in political contexts, in footballing contexts, in all kinds of ways. I mean, you know, well, for example, I mean, the conflict in Northern Ireland was supposed to be a conflict between Protestant and Catholics, was supposed to be a religious conflict. This cliche has been bandied around. But I don't think that anybody, one single person, was killed in the conflict in Northern Ireland in the 35 years that it lasted because of a dispute over the doctrine of transubstantiation. You know, it's got nothing to do with religion in any meaningful sense. It's got to do with tribal identity. And tribal identity will manifest itself in different arenas at different times. And if religion didn't exist, we would just simply have the same conflicts for other reasons. So this is intrinsic to the human spirit. It doesn't, the idea that Richard Dawkins and idiots like that come out with, that you can simply abolish conflict by abolishing religion is complete nonsense, obviously, because the greatest genocides in the history of the species occurred in the last century, and they occurred as a result of atheistic revolutions, Nazism, socialism, communism.
I hope you social studies students are listening to everything we just said there. That's all for your assignment, by the way. Okay, tribalism, all that stuff, all right. Yes, at the front here.